Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the very first RNN Group webinar of our academic year 2025-2026. It is really exciting to welcome you back after the last 3 months break from webinars and the summer holidays. And now we are firmly into the autumn term and autumn season here across the region. We're starting with our very first webinar on something really important, something that the three of us on this call today are really passionate about: commercial training. So I'd like to introduce first Dan Stamborough, who is the Vice Principal of Adult Education, Commercial and Partnership Strategy. He will be leading on this presentation today, talking about the options that employers have for commercial training and employees and individuals have to partake of these too. And Steve Roberts, who is our Employer Responsive Provision Manager, will be supporting Dan with various elements of this presentation. So less from me, more from you guys. Over to you.
Thank you, Lucy, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm really pleased to be here today to have a brief introduction to the very broad offer of commercial and employer responsive training that the group has on offer. This will be a bit of a quick whistle-stop tour through a broad range of offer that we have. What I would say is that if there are any questions at the end, or if you'd like to know anything further regarding anything we talk about today, please do get in touch. Contact information will be at the end of the PowerPoint presentation. Thank you. So jumping into what we talk about when we are talking about RNN Group. So the group, first of all, just as a very brief overview, is made up of a range of providers. 3 of those providers are North Notts College, Rotherham College and Dearne Valley College. We also have the University Campus Rotherham, which is a really exciting specialist HE centre dedicated to adult provision in the Rotherham Town Centre region. And we also offer provision online, especially with specialist offers such as distance learning, which my colleague Steve can talk about in a little bit, and also in the community, serving the needs of local stakeholders. We are a highly responsive provider, and what that does mean is that whilst we have a menu of offer that we offer providers as a specialist across multiple sectors, we are really responsive, and therefore we're always really keen to ensure that anything we do meets the needs of stakeholders. And if we don't already do it, please let us know, and we'll quite happily sit down, look at opportunities to adapt what we do, develop new innovative areas and exciting new areas of specialism. And we can touch upon some of that later on. So first of all, when we talk about employer training, I just want to confirm what we're referring to today. The group has a fantastic and high quality offer for adult provision across the group, and some of that is traditionally what we would consider to be funded training. Funded training is training which is free, which is provided for funding either through local mayoral combined authorities for South Yorkshire and East Midlands respectively, or through the Department for Education directly. And that funding is available for certain specialist accredited courses, which means that employers are able to access that training free of charge without an impact on their training budget. That is fantastic, but we recognise that that offer is not always what employers want to hear. So some employers will wish to actually have specialist bespoke provision, which is available beyond the traditional accredited route, which could be more specialist, it could be shorter, it could be more responsive, not necessarily tied into qualifications, and delivered in a way which is flexible, high quality, and competitive to the needs of the individual employers we're working with. So in terms of funded adult training, just very briefly to cover this before we move on to the key focus of delivery today, which is we're looking at our commercial offer beyond this. We offer funded training for individuals who are aged 19 plus, subject to their individual circumstances. And what I would always say is if you are interested in accessing funded training, it is best to speak to one of our specialist colleagues within our admissions department who are able to advise further on funding eligibility and suitability. Funding for our courses is offered around a broad range of different types of funding streams, and it's available from pre-entry level up to level 3+, And we do then offer also additional funding support for provision at level 4 upwards, which I can touch upon later on. Our courses which are funded for adults are available at our college campuses. They're available online, and they're also available in employer or community venues. And one of those brilliant examples I'd just like to talk about very quickly is distance learning. Steve, can I just ask you very quickly to just give a very brief summary of what distance learning is as one of the areas that you're responsible for the group? Steve, your microphone's not on at the moment, I'm afraid.
Apologies. Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks, Dan. Yes, I manage also the distance learning department. We have a range of qualifications that we offer at a level 2 standard with NCSFE, covering team leader to care to logistics and so on. And if anybody wants to access those courses, we have a full list on our website which points you out to the enrolment, and then we would obviously be in touch with you and point you through and support you all through the enrolment and getting an assessor and a qualified tutor to support you through that qualification.
Thank you, Steve. So there's a really broad range of courses available online that would advise any colleagues, especially within a professional situation, to look into. The beauty of online courses is that they can be funded potentially, and that they enable employers to be able to actually have staff undertake learning in a flexible manner, both during and outside of office hours, evenings, weekends, if individuals wish to undertake it. The provision is 365 days of the year, 24/7. So there's a lot of flexibility, and all of this is supported by specialists across the range of sectors that we cover, with the availability of both online and offline resources, with access to both online and phone-based support from specialists. So something please to be aware of, and it's something we will talk upon more in future webinars focusing on adult training. Beyond that, then, we also offer a really exciting range of commercial courses, and for the purpose of today, commercial courses will primarily relate to courses where there is a fee involved because of the highly specialist and bespoke nature of that provision. Most of those courses relate to our areas of specialism as a group, and so as you can see from this initial list, which shows some of the courses that were available, we are specialists in areas such as art and design, in hair and beauty, and construction. And you can see from the list of courses, and I'll not read them all out here, but you can see that there's a broad array of offer here just from these 3 sectors alone, and there's some more on the next slide that I'll go to in a second. So we offer courses ranging from part-time hobby-based courses, which enable individuals to actually take part in ceramics, baking, sculpting, and shaping pottery, but also vocationally focused courses, which can be at level 3 and above courses, including, as you can see here, courses in beauty therapy, aesthetics, hair and beauty, but also key vocational courses such as the site supervisor quals for construction. Beyond that, you'll also see that we offer a broad range of professional skills, and due to the very high level and specialist nature of these skills, these are courses which traditionally are not funded qualifications, but which are available for individuals to access. Examples of this include our accountancy offer, where we offer an ACCA accredited level 4 diploma in accounting and business. We offer teacher education training in level 3 award education, which serves as a key gateway for individuals seeking to move into teaching and learning related roles. We offer a really exciting array of modular higher education courses now, which we refer to as high needs flex, with areas such as business, engineering, construction and computing. We offer specialist provision in areas of health and safety, such as the IOSH accredited courses, which enable individuals to be accredited in health and safety. And I myself, as an IOSH accredited professional, would really recommend those for any managers or leaders seeking to actually be responsible or have a remit for responsibility for health and safety within an organisation. And what I would like to just highlight is that whilst we are talking about these as being costed courses, in many cases, whilst there is a cost involved, we can still, for many courses, especially at higher education level, explore opportunities for some support with funding through access to advanced learner loans or equivalent funding support. What I would say in all situations, if you feel that you may wish to access such funding, again, our specialists within the admissions team can provide further detailed support, help you understand if you might be eligible and if the qualification might be eligible for funding and support through a loan or other subsidy. So please do feel free to have those conversations with us in future. Moving beyond that, then, I also want to highlight some really exciting things that we do beyond direct delivery. So one of the new exciting developments for RNN in direct response to stakeholder needs, looking at what the needs of employers are locally and of the people in the local area looking to progress into employment within construction as a sector especially, is our brand new opening in October 2025 CSCS Test Centre, which is based at UCR in Rotherham. It is the first South Yorkshire college to have a CITB accredited test centre in the region presently. And it's something, CSCS testing will enable you to actually achieve a CSCS card, which critically is a key requirement for any construction site professional looking to be on site in a large construction employer within the South Yorkshire area or beyond. Steve, would you like to say anything in relation to CSCS, just as the manager leading upon this provision?
Yes, thanks, Dan. Well, we're currently now in its final stages to getting the test centre up and running. So once we're up and running, we'll be advertising the CSCS test funded and commercially. So anybody that's interested, or if you've known anybody that wants to do the CSCS test, they'll have details that you can contact us. We'll get you booked in and arrange for your test. Once the test is set up, we have 24 hours for the learner to come in and do the test. If it generates, well, we hope it generates a pass for that learner, we will then support to help get the card. So if it's a person who's a site operative, who's just passed a level 1 health and safety qualification, then they'll be able to apply for the green card. If it's somebody that's done a level 2 trade, then they would be able to apply for the blue card as a tradesperson. But support for the application for the card will be offered at the centre.
That's great. Thank you, Steve. So as you can hear, it's a really exciting opportunity, and it's a demonstration of how RNN Group, as a leading provider for the region, are really seeking to actually invest back into our specialist facilities and ensure we're not just actually equipping individuals with qualifications, but also with the status and with the requirements they need to successfully progress on into employment within local specialist priority sectors such as construction. Beyond that, then, I'm also pleased to say that we have just opened a brand new, and again, a new first for the South Yorkshire region, a college-owned logistics training hub. As you can see, this is a first of its kind for South Yorkshire to have a college-owned specialist facility in logistics. As you can see from the images, we have our own on-site warehouse space, which is excellent and provides real-life simulation of the actual working environments for an individual progressing into employment, already in employment in the warehousing logistics sector. And within this space, as well as funded courses, we offer specialist courses in RTITB accredited training for operating of forklift truck vehicles and beyond. And that, again, is to enable professionals to have the required status they need to successfully operate within the logistics sector as a forklift truck accredited driver. We offer new and refreshed training in relation to that, and it's a really exciting offer where my colleague Steve can talk a little bit more about the actual space, the experience, and how individuals can actually access and inquire for further information as appropriate. So Steve, just want to mention one or two quick things in relation to that.
Yeah, so we're located in Rotherham. very close to the bus station and train station. So it's very accessible for people in South Yorkshire coming through to attend our training courses. We work closely with job centres in Rotherham, Barnsley, Sheffield and Doncaster, as well as Worksop, taking referrals for people that are unemployed, that are wanting to get the qualification to assist them moving into employment. So we work closely with quite a few agencies to do that. So learners coming through that are unemployed, they'll be with us for 3 weeks. They'll gain a level 2 retail customer service and warehouse logistics qualification. They will then receive the opportunity to come into the centre and train on a counterbalance or reach truck. That will be determined by the learners themselves. And then we have guaranteed job interviews for everybody coming through with 3 major recruitment agencies to move them into employment. The commercial side, we will be offering novice courses, 1-day refreshers, conversion, prices we can discuss if anybody's interested commercially. If they contact me, happy to get back to you with prices on that. But yeah, we're very pleased and very happy about us training centre, and we know it's going to be a great success.
Thank you, Stephen. That's really great to hear. And what I would say in relation, because I think it's a question that I would anticipate for any of the exciting training offer that we've got, our pricing, I would say, for everything we do is very competitive. We are also always keen to ensure that what we do is high quality, but at the same time, we recognise a need for that high quality provision to be competitive with other providers. So if you have any concerns or interest in terms of any offer and you want to know more, please always make contact with us and we can talk through and ensure that the rates we're offering are competitive and offer you the best possible value for money as a potential employer or professional seeking to access our specialist provision. Moving on from some of the venues which we've just talked about, then we also have the National Fluid Power Centre. Now, the National Fluid Power Centre is a really exciting space based down in the Worksop town centre area. It is accessible via public transport just off the A57 and accessible via public transport equally with the train station less than 5 minutes walk away. The National Fluid Power Centre, or the NFPC for short, is the UK's leading training centre for hydraulics, pneumatics and integrated systems engineering for many key sectors within the engineering, construction, agriculture and other sectors. Effectively, any sector with any hydraulics, pneumatics elements within them tend to be engaged and working with the National Fluid Power Centre or with the employers who support the National Fluid Power Centre. And as you can see, we are supported at the NFPC as a UK leader and in fact internationally recognised specialist. We have over 60 industry partners who actively are involved in the investment, development and delivery at the centre. So as you can see from the images, the equipment we have is invested by those employers and represents cutting edge technology, which effectively simulates the realistic working environments for individuals in their professional sectors. All of our training is BFPA or CTOP accredited, and that basically means that you have an assurance that training is of a high industry standard with appropriate accreditation, which enables progression into and throughout careers in related sectors of work. And the key thing I would say is that as a specialist centre that is part of the RNN Group, but runs as an independent specialist provider, if you have any detailed questions you'd like to know further about the NFPC, please do click on the NFPC's dedicated website link, which is in the slides attached, which is nfpc.co.uk. However, we're also more than happy to make referrals and field queries in relation through our central admissions teams again. Beyond that, we also have the AM2 Electro Testing and Gas Centre, which is an accredited National Electrotechnical Training Centre, which is a specialist in remit and exists to provide the needs of especially apprenticeships for both framework and standard levels, around the needs of AM2, and also in terms of gas centre training. The centre also is equipped to enable specialist training in gas installation, including boilers and other heating solutions, as well as electro testing. And as a specialist facility with specialist tutors, we're happy to have inquiries about how we can provide support and opportunities for further training as part of that centre. Beyond that, I'm also pleased to say that in terms of investments in the RNN Group campuses, we've invested heavily in ensuring that we are able to meet the needs of local employers by offering key spaces for employers to use for training, meetings, conferences, and other events. One example of this is the 7 Enterprise Way, which you can see a busy meeting fully underway at in the image. 7 Enterprise Way is a specialist facility based at Dearne Valley campus, which offers office hire and rental of office spaces with competitive rates for both short and long-term usage. Based at the Dearne Valley campus, as I mentioned, some of the USPs of being based there is that it is a highly accessible space with strong transport links and free parking. But as a key out-of-town venue, it is very close to the major settlements of Barnsley, Rotherham and Doncaster, and is just off the Dearne Valley Parkway, accessible therefore from both the M1, A1 and M18 transport links as well. If you're interested in more information about potentially use of the space, either for short training or for office hire, please do get in touch, and we're quite happy to have discussions and arrange visits and views of the actual site and premises available. Beyond that, we also have Business Centre Rotherham, which is based in the UCR at University Campus Rotherham. This is a dedicated space with some really high quality accommodation available for both short-term conferencing and meeting venues. And you can see in the bottom image an example of one of those small office spaces we have, which are dedicated pod-based meetings, event spaces suitable for small meetings, one-to-one working, and are useful as a remote office location for busy professionals seeking to have a town centre venue to operate out of on a short or medium-term basis. The sites boast dedicated amenities with on-site reception staff. And if you have any queries again about access to the space or would like to view the space potentially with a view of potentially exploring utilisation or hiring, please do get in touch, and we're more than happy to arrange visits and views of the available space. Beyond this, in terms of commercial spaces, we also have DVC Sports, which is also known as Fitness 63. In terms of DVC Sports, the DVC Sports space is a dedicated, high-quality, community-based sports facility based at Dearne Valley College, as the name suggests. The site boasts a high-quality 4G pitch, which is FA approved and which is used very popular for matches with many teams across the region. The space also has 2 mugger spaces, multiple use gaming area spaces, which are used quite a lot for tennis and netball, but can be used for a broad variety of other sporting activities as well. And please do let us know if there's anything in particular you were curious about or would like to understand our capacity to support with in relation. We also offer inside DVC Sports Building a large sports hall, which has got capacity and is used heavily for activities such as badminton, netball, and many other exciting activities, such as an upcoming drone sports event, which is really exciting, something really innovative that we're looking forward to actually seeing happen soon. The facilities offer some really high quality gym spaces in a professional standard, but which is in a space which is welcoming, community based, and which is very popular with local residents because it offers a space which is welcoming and friendly and more personal than some of the larger town centre gym offerings in the local area. The space is highly competitive in terms of the rates it offers, which is reflected in the fact that many of our users have been coming for a very long time. We do offer discounts for students and can explore other appropriate corporate discounts where appropriate. And we also run focus classes at the site, such as for spin cycle, for yoga and many more. And again, if there are specific fitness classes you'd be interested in seeing happening, please do let us know. We'll be more than happy to use your feedback to inform the future specialist training we put on as a programme via our specialists working at the centre. We also have 2 high-quality salons for Innovate. One of these is at Rotherham, one of these at North Notts College. These spaces are commercial training salons which are led by experienced specialists. At these centres, you can experience the full hair, beauty, aesthetics offer that you would expect from any professional salon, such as hairstyling, makeup, nails, dermaplaning, lash and brow, Swedish massage, and many more beyond. Please do inquire if you have any specialist treatments that you're interested in receiving. Again, the rates are highly competitive, especially compared to other town centre and other specialist salon venues. We have bookings available during the daytime, during the evenings, and also at the weekends at North Notts, and we're exploring opportunities to extend that also to Rotherham moving forward. What I would suggest is always to make contact with us, and if you have any specific requirements or times you would like to look at booking in an appointment, please do get in touch with us, and we're more than happy to look at actually responding and seeing if we can explore existing appointments or opening up especially for demand where appropriate. So finally, in terms of accessing information about everything we've talked about, you can see we have a really high quality series of websites representing the full breadth of our campuses. We have dedicated website pages for each of our main campus sites, including the UCR. And we also have an RNN Group central site, which covers the key venues that we've talked about today. If you'd like to know anything further about anything we've talked about today, please do get in touch with us. You can click on any of our websites, which will contain links to later on. And if you would like to know anything more about anything we've talked about or beyond, please do use the contact details to leave an inquiry, and we'll quite happily get back in touch to actually follow up and respond to any inquiries you may have. So as promised, contact details. If you'd like to know anything more about adult training, please do get in touch with us. You can contact us via our inquiries website, email address rather, at inquiries@rnngroup.ac.uk. You can contact us via any of the telephone numbers attached for each of the college sites, or you can access via our central website, which will link to all the other sites that we have, including our specialist venues at www.rnngroup.ac.uk. So thank you very much for your time and patience today. If you have any questions, I'm here, as is Steve, to answer any questions you may have. We really appreciate the chance we've had to actually give you this really brief whistle-stop overview of some of our commercial offer. And if there's anything more you'd like to know, please do let us know. Thank you.
Dan, that was brilliant. Very, very thorough, actually, for a summary overview of everything. Thank you, Dan and Steve. We just had one question come through so far, ironically, asking about apprenticeships. Can you just help to direct this person through to apprenticeships and how they go about finding out about that? Thank you.
No, absolutely. So the websites also cover key referrals through to our apprenticeship offers. We do have a highly specialist apprenticeship offer, which I've not covered today due to its slightly different nature in terms of how it relates to commercial. However, it's really important. It's a good point, Lucy, to actually make reference to our apprenticeships, just to make employers aware that, as you heard me reference earlier on, we do deliver apprenticeship testing and delivery at all of our sites. We are a leader in the delivery of a range of sectors, including construction, health, engineering, and many more. If there are any specific queries you may have about our apprenticeship offer, about supporting you as an employer or as an individual with potential apprenticeship standards and progression into work, or supporting with recruitment needs as an organisation, please do get in touch via the website links provided, and we'll make sure that one of our specialist team of employer partnership staff gets back in touch as soon as possible to help understand how we can meet your needs.
Thanks, Dan. That's really, really helpful. So just to remind everyone, if you're interested in any kind of commercial training, any kind of information requirements for commercial opportunities, office space, our salons, our gym and restaurants, we have a huge array of commercial opportunities across the group, as Dan and Steve have just gone through, then you can see the contact details in the previous slide. But go onto our website. So our RNN Group website has everything you could possibly look at. We have 3 sections on the RNN website, which has Learn With Us, that's for our students, Partner With Us, that's you, our employees, has all the information about more of these webinars, as well as information about apprenticeships and all the adults and commercial opportunities that Dan and Steve have just talked about, as well as obviously we have our vacancies on there. So yes, that page and website will really help you if you are interested by what Dan and Steve have just been saying and want to know more thoroughly. Our website has that information for you to be able to find all that information about. So we haven't got any more questions, Dan, because I think you were so thorough with the areas that you went through. So Dan and Steve, thank you so much for giving us your time for this webinar, our first of the year, which is very, very exciting. What I will quickly do, just to remind everyone out there, we have 4 webinars next week that we are hosting. So you will, if you clock onto all 4, you'll have to deal with me for all 4 of those webinars, hosting them. Next week is a big week for the RNN Group. We have our Higher Education and Skills Week for our learners, giving them opportunities to learn about higher education and higher skills opportunities across the group. We also have, it's our National T-Levels Week next week, which is a big thing for the group. T-Levels are a huge growth area for us and still new for a lot of people. So next week, with those 2 themes in mind, we have on Tuesday a T-Level webinar at 1 o'clock, so this time next week. We also have a Higher Education Next Steps webinar at 6:30 in the evening. And then on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, we have the Higher Education Finance Support webinar, and on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. UCAS Support for All. We will be demystifying UCAS for everyone. And these are all really important webinars for anyone interested in T-levels, technical skills, and then going on to higher skills, including higher technical qualifications, which is the next step from T-levels. So that's what is on next week. We do these lunchtime ones because we hope that people are going to come along, put their screen up and eat their lunch and then learn something during this half an hour, 45 minutes, as well as those who can't make it. We do evening ones as well to do that. But always sign up, because you'll get sent this recording after the event has finished to watch at your leisure. So all it remains for me to do is thank Dan and Steve for your time again. Really appreciate you being on the first webinar of the year. Thank everyone to listening to this, and hopefully we'll see you soon at our next webinar. Thank you very much for your time, and goodbye.